People and magic makers, Destiny here on this magical Monday. I hope you had a fantastic Memorial Day last week. I wanted to come at you this week to talk about breaking up with your habits. Okay, so I did something last week that I had been basically complaining about for quite some time. So what tends to happen is, of course, over the year, our hair grows, and I had mine so long that when I had my hair even in a high ponytail, it would like come down to my shoulders, right? And it was kind of annoying because when I would like lean over to grab something, it would all fall in my face. It would just like it was hot, right? And my husband was like, there's somebody out there that would probably tell you that you're complaining about this, so maybe you should do something about it, right? And of course, he's talking about me. Well, I decided I was going to do something. And I went to one of my friends and I chopped it all off. So here, let me show you. So now it's just below shoulder length, right? It's nice and cool. I had it thinned out. I had it layered so like it doesn't feel as heavy. I don't get headaches for it, right? But it was a pretty big change. It was, I'd say, about 6 to 9 inches or so that I chopped off. But then I went to go and wash my hair because what happens when you cut your hair? You get all those little hair pieces all over you and all over your neck and on your shoulders and in your hair, right? So I went to go and clean it out. And what I did was grab my shampoo and go ahead and put a big old squirt in my hand because I was so used to the same amount for my long hair, right? And I'm looking at this and I'm like, that's too much. It's too much for the change that I just made. So now I got to unscrew the top and like get some back in the bottle, use only what I need for the short hair. And I was like, why the heck did I do that? That was so silly. I can't believe that's what I did. Then time to condition the new hair, right? And I did the same thing. A big old squirt. And I was like, why did I just do that? I had the thought for the shampoo that I didn't need as much. Why did I go and put a big old squirt in my hand for the conditioner? And I was like, oh, do you know what's happening right now? I made a really big, drastic change, but I haven't made the little tiny changes yet. I hadn't had time to. It was literally like 2 hours in between the session and when I washed out my hair, right? So we have the opportunity to notice when we make really big changes and shifts in our lives, all of these small little changes that need to be tweaked too. But here's the little rub on that. Not to beat ourselves up about it. Okay? Not to be like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Which is what I did. And then when I did it again with the conditioner, I was like, what the heck? Right? I was bringing out that golden hammer to beat myself up with it because I should have known better because I had just experienced it with the shampoo. But when we are making really big shifts and changes in our lives, we have to remember that there are small changes that need to be tweaked and made too. So how do we do that, make it fun, and make it easy for ourselves? Well, I came up with this thing. And I doubt that it's like brand spanking new, but for me, I'm like, this is how I want to go about making these small changes easier, faster, and more fun. I decided that I was going to break up with these small habits. Okay. Much like when you break up with a significant other. So first, you remember like when you first break up with somebody, like their stuff is like all around your house or things are reminding you of them and it just kind of keeps popping up in the beginning, right? That's what the shampoo and the conditioner was, right? I had to like look at it and it was popping up and it was there to remind me like, hey, this is something that you need to change. This is something that you've got to adjust. So either take their crap out, get rid of it, tell them come pick it up, however you want to deal with that, or just noticing that there's this little shift that you want to make, okay? Then the second stage is, now you might not think about them too much. It might pop up every so often, but it's not going to be like a daily reminder. It probably won't even be a weekly reminder. Right? This is usually when it's really cool to hang out with friends and have a buddy who you can talk about this stuff with so that you can laugh. So I have an accountability buddy and I was like sharing this, right? Like this is what I did. She's like, oh my gosh, I did the same thing because she did the same thing. Right? And she goes, don't worry, it gets easier. Just notice it and you'll start realizing and making the adjustments as you go. Very true. right? This is the kind of that learning curve process of like, I don't have to do this anymore. I want to do this instead. And you've got to give yourself that time to make that transition. Now, some say that's 14 days, some say 21, 28, 35, whatever, denomination of 7 you want to pick for yourself to go ahead and shift that. Give yourself that time and that grace to do it. Okay. And then pretty soon at the end, you don't even think about that other person. You might, even though you might see them, you're like, yeah, whatever, because it just got so easy. You gave yourself that time, right? And it'll become easy to manage this and manage whatever big change is coming in your life, right? And so it's interesting because like in the mornings, I still flip my head upside down to give myself a really high ponytail. And I don't know if any of you saw that cartoon Snorks, where they had like that little thing up on the top of their head. That's what it looks like now, instead of it fall like my ponytail coming down, right? So it's really humorous and it's really funny when I do it. But that's the thing, is it's funny and it's humorous. Instead of going, oh my God, why did I just do that? Or, oh, I can't believe I did that again, which is bringing out that golden hammer and smacking yourself with it. Now it's funny and it's humorous. And I know it's not going to last forever. Much like a breakup, it doesn't last forever. You find someone new, right? You find something else that you love and you care for. And oh my gosh, like my hair dances, people. Like it moves with me. Like that's amazing. And I love it. And so like now I can have fun with this, right? Without beating myself up. So look at all of the big changes that have occurred in all of our lives, in your life. And have you noticed the small changes that need to be adjusted? And instead of getting upset, beating yourself up, judging yourself and comparing yourself with somebody else, knock it off. Stop it. Simply break up with the small change. Break up with the small habit, right? Just break up with it like you would a person. Take your time, right? Work it out of your system. Give yourself some grace and enjoy the process, because you're going to get to repeat it over and over again whenever you make a really big change. And come from a place of curiosity, like, what other small change will I get to adjust because of this? Now, when we're stuck and we're deep, deep in it, it's hard to think like that because we're having all of the emotions and all of the experiences and all of the things that are coming, right? But just take a moment to breathe, to just breathe and go, hang on a minute. Just give me a minute. Now you can take that minute and use it to just feel all the feels, right? Or you can take that minute to just breathe and ask yourself, is this how I want to feel? And if the answer is no, pick something else. And I know that seems really silly, but you can actually do that. You truly can, right? So shifting from beating yourself and judging, beating yourself up and judging yourself and anger and frustration, you could shift it into, I wonder, and curiosity, and how can I have fun with this? You are that powerful. And it's time for you to step into that magic. All right. So until next Monday, peace and have a good one. Bye.